Hello, welcome to Conversations About Wine. You are at Bazan Cellars, and I'm Gloria Bazan. Today I have our stellar winemaker, Kian Tabaconi, and our topic today is aromas.
Aromas.
Aromas in wine. Where those come from? How we can think about them when we are gonna try a wine, like if it's a white or it's a red. Seems very obvious, but I would like our viewers to have a little bit of a bigger insight where those aromas come from and how can we learn to start identifying them in wine.
Yes, so aromas pretty much are in all wines. Whether you're making a very crisp, vibrant Sauvignon Blanc or you have a very hearty, rich, lush Cabernet. Now, they're basically compounds that are in the grapes. We don't add these aromas to the wine during the winemaking process. We actually use the fermentation and aging process to actually identify and enhance these aromas. They're usually found in the pulp, in the skins, and in the juice of the respective variety, whether again it's Sauvignon Blanc or Chardonnay or Cabernet or Pinot. And during the fermentation process, the temperature in the fermentation is really key in wanting to enhance the particular aromas that you want to express in your finished wine. If you ferment very cool, which we do with our white wines, particularly Sauvignon Blanc, you really enhance those floral and fruit like melon and kiwi notes that come through in Sauvignon Blanc. Whereas if it was fermented much warmer, the fruit components would not be as enhanced. They will be somewhat masked. With red wines, aromas that you find in red wines can generate from red fruits like cherries and raspberries and strawberries, which you find in Pinots, to more dark fruit characteristics like blackberries, blackcurrant or cassis, as it's said in France, and black cherry even. And so those are all the fruit components that give you the aromatics in the wine. Then, of course, you got additional aromatics that can come from barrel aging and even then eventually bottle aging.
It's I get that question very often when we receive people in our tasting room and they ask, did you add the strawberries? Or did you add? But we need to understand that winemaking it's a chemical process, right? So those are aromas that you find. The aromas come from chemicals that are produced in the fruit or during the fermentation and the barrel aging and bottle aging, and they are similar to components that you find in fruits like strawberries or cherries, or in some spices, vanilla or pepper, and can come from different components that go along the wine. And we are going to have more videos about, more specific aromas and how they are similar and where they come from. But basically today, I wanted to have a more general idea that we do not add extra flavors, right?
Correct.
To the process. Everything comes from the fruit and the fermentation process, barrel aging and bottle aging process.
Yes, makes wine such a fascinating subject. You basically are using grapes, different varieties, of course, but the grape itself is a fruit, but yet it has the ability, because of the compounds in there and the fermentation techniques that are used in the winery, to enhance particular aromas that you find in other fruits. I find that just very, very interesting.
And there's something, it's a very different even from the same fruit that coming from the same vineyard and probably harvested the same day if you use different yeast to ferment the fruit.
Yes, exactly. I mean, that could be a whole other video subject, and that's the type of yeast that you use. And yeast is the microorganism that converts sugar into alcohol.
Yeah. So there are so many different factors that are involved in the aromatics of wine that it take hours and hours just talking about it. But as I said in this video, I wanted to just have a general understanding where the aromas in wines come from. And I appreciate today your join me and talk about this. Anything else that you would like to add about the aromatics in wine?
Not much, except that in a future video, we'll be talking about flavors, which actually really complements aroma. So I'm looking forward to that discussion with you in the next video.
Me too. Okay, remember, subscribe to the channel if you find valuable this information. We are going to be talking so many things about wine. We are going to be doing other videos in other areas too of the winery and the vineyard, and appreciate you stop by today and hope to see you next time.
Cheers.
Salud.